Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Sugar Zeus Crypto, and today we're gonna get into an article by blockgeeks.com. It talks about what is Ethereum Casper protocol, and the reason why we're gonna get on this is because right now, as I'm making this video, there is a scalability problems going on the Bitcoin protocol and on the Ethereum protocol. So they are working maybe 24 hours, 7 days a day. They're trying to improve them. Okay, guys, as you can see on Coinbase right now, the first news right now, it says Bitcoin breakthrough claims block size increase possible without hard fork. So they think they found a breakthrough to make the block size, upgrade the block size to a bigger block size without having a hard fork. So yes, they are working on it right now. This is probably like one of the important topics right now in the cryptocurrency space. If no, there's reports, there's people concerned about this because, of course, they wanted to make cryptocurrency as fast and as reliable as MasterCard, as Visa, but without the bank in the middle, right? Using the blockchain as a receipt, as a trust platform, as the trusting computer, okay, algorithm, computer data, and not human beings, okay, that they're monitoring and checking everything and not giving, like, for example, like if anyone wants to send money from here to Japan or China, you would have to wire transfer banks. You would have to have a way of the bank to for them to withdraw their account into their currency. You know, you have use US dollars, they use yen. And how you gonna link it? Like it takes days, probably months, to link a bank to another bank over there and having them, exchange their usage of the currency into their currency. So it's so much hiccups, it's so much, I might not explain it exactly, but the concept is like that. It's just too much problems right now going on when it's about sending money internationally. So right now, they're not as fast as MasterCard or Visa card, but they're trying to make it. But the thing is that right now, they're reaching a point where, the scalability problems and they're slow. It has reached a capacity where they need to improve them and they need to come up with solutions for it. So we're going to get into the article right now. What is Ethereum Casper protocol? Does any of you guys know? Hit comment in the section below. All right. If you guys know about it, say I know. Sugar Zeus Crypto, I know. Okay, what is Ethereum Casper protocol? Crash, of course. What is a proof of work? I don't know if any of you knows what a proof of work. Most cryptocurrency, including Bitcoin, run on proof of work. Proof of work as a process has the following steps to it. The miners solve cryptographic puzzles to mine a block to add to the blockchain. This process requires an immense amount of energy and computational usage. The puzzle has been designed in a way which it makes it hard and taxing on the system. When a miner solves the puzzle, when they present their blocks to the network for verification, verifying whether the block belongs to the chain and is not extremely simple process. That, in essence, is a proof of work. That is what a proof of work system is. Solving the puzzle is difficult, but checking whether the solution is actually correct is not easy. This is the system that Bitcoin and Ethereum till now have been using. However, there are some fundamental flaws in the system. The problem with the proof of work, as it turns out, there are quite few problems with proof of work. First and foremost, proof of work is extremely inefficient because of the sheer amount of power and energy that's eaten up. People and organizations can afford faster and more powerful ASICs, usually have better chance of mining than others. As a result of this, Bitcoin isn't as decentralized as it wants to be. Let's check hash rate distribution graph. So as you can see right here in this graph, these are mining pools. These are big companies right here that they have a lot of money and they could buy a lot of ASIC computer, which are better than the GPUs. And so they could mine a lot faster and more efficient energy, but still, it still has the same problem as the GPUs. As you can see, 65% of the hash rate is divided among 5 mining pools alone. Theoretically speaking, these big mining pools can simply team up with each other and launch a 51% on the Bitcoin network. To solve this problem, Ethereum looked to proof of stake as a solution. What is a proof of stake? Proof of stake will make the entire mining process virtual and replace miners with validators. This is how the process will work. The validators will lock up some of their coins at stake. After that, they will validate the blocks, meaning they will discover a block which they think they can be added to the chain. They will validate it and place a bet on it. If the block gets appended, the validators will get rewarded proportionate to their bets. So this is I believe I made a video on this, and basically when you on Cardano. Basically, when you join a mining pool with your address into the mining pool, you get if they will get rewarded, you'll get rewarded too. So you get a percentage. Like for example, I have a Neo, and I have a Neon wallet on my desktop. It's a software, and basically they pay me in gas coins for staking my coin. Just to leave it there, they'll give you guys a return. An interest return. So it's good. It works good. It's a passive income, I guess, but it's not a whole lot. It depends on the size of your wallet. If you have plenty of it, you might generate, some good amount of money. But if you don't, then I guess you get certain amount of money, but it depends on the size of your wallet. Anyways, proof of work versus proof of stake. Proof of work is required to define an expensive computer calculation as called mining. Proof of stake. Proof of stake, the creator of a new block is chosen a deterministic way depending on its wealth as defined as stake. So that means the bigger the wallet is, more block validation. So they'll get rewarded with more new blocks launching in and new minting coins. Okay. A reward is given to the first miner on proof of work. A reward is given to the first miner who solves each block problem. On the proof of stake system, there's no block reward, so miners take the transaction fee. Okay, and on the proof of work, network miners compete to be the first to find a solution for the mathematical problems. On the proof of stake, currencies can be several thousands of times more cost effective. Of course, they're not using computer powers, they're not using hardware. This is more of a staking procedure, so it's kind of like a virtual way of mining, so it's more sophisticated, it's less energy consumption. The biggest roadblock to proof of stake. Ethereum developers always planned to eventually move to proof of stake. That was always their plan. However, they could do so they have to address one of the biggest flaws on proof of stake. Consider the scenario for a moment. Block 50, block 51, block 52, block 53, and this red block 51, block 52. Suppose we have a situation like this one above. There are main blue chain and a red chain which sort of branches from the main chain itself. Were there to stop a malicious miner from mining on the red blocks and force a hard fork? In a proof of work system, this risk can be mitigated. Suppose malicious miner Alice wants to mine on the red chain. Even if she decides all her hash power to it, she won't get any other miner to join on her new chain. Everyone else will still continue to mine on the blue chain because it's more profitable and risk-free to mine on the longer chain. Now remember, proof of work is extremely expensive resource-wise, and it makes no sense for a miner to waste so much resource on a block that will be rejected by the network anyway. Hence, chain split are avoided in a proof of work system because of the amount of money that the attacker will have to waste. However, things look a little different when you bring in the proof of stake. If you are a validator, then you can simply put your money in both the red and the blue chain without any fear or repercussion at all. No matter what happens, you will win and have nothing to lose, despite how malicious your actions may be. This is called nothing at stake problem. This is something that Ethereum had to address. They needed a protocol which could implement the proof of stake and mitigate the nothing at stake problem. Enter Ethereum Casper. Casper is the proof of stake protocol that the Ethereum has chosen to go with. While there has been an entire team busy creating it, Vlad Zamfir and other credited as being the face of Casper. Okay, so how is Casper different from any other proof of stake protocols? Casper has implemented a process in which they can punish all malicious elements. In this, how proof of work under Casper would work, the validators stake a portion of their ethers as stake. After that, they will start validating the blocks, meaning that they will discover a block which they think can be added to the chain. They will validate it and place it on a bet on a bet on it. If the block gets appended, the validator will get rewarded proportionate to their bets. However, if a validator acts in malicious manner and tries to do a nothing at stake, they will immediately be reprimanded and all their stake is gonna get slashed. As you can see, Casper is designed to work in a trustless system and be more Byzantine fault tolerant. Anyone who acts in a malicious Byzantine manner will get immediately punished by having their stakes slashed off. This is where it differs from most others proof of stake protocols. Malicious elements have something to lose, so it is impossible for there to be nothing at stake. This is not the only place where Casper punished the validators. As Hudson James and George Bontinger note in their answer in a Stack Exchange, Casper designed hashes initiatives to guarantee network security, including punishment miners who would go offline unintentionally or not. This means that validators will have to be careful about their node uptime. Careless or laziness will lead them to lose their stake. This property reduces censorship of transactions and overall ability. Along with all that, the slashing property will also lend Casper a distinctive edge over the standard proof of work protocols. Let's bring back our chain diagram again. The blocks right here from 51 to 53 in blue and the 51 and 52 in the red. In a proof of work protocol, it doesn't matter whether a miner mine on the blue chain or red chain. Both of the honest and the malicious miner would have to spend the same amount of resources. In Casper, however, if an honest validator mines on the blue chain, then they would get rewarded proportionate to their bet. However, a malicious miner will get their stake slashed off for betting on the red chain. Why do we need Ethereum Casper? There are several advantages of implementing proof of stake. They can all be broadly listed down among the following categories: help achieve decentralization, energy efficiency, economic security, scaling, transition to proof of stake. I think the scaling is probably the main reason, but let's continue. Achieving decentralization. As we've seen above, proof of work protocols are not really decentralization friendly anymore. Let's check out the hash rate distribution chart for Bitcoin again. As you can see, big companies, a lot of money, a lot of ASIC hardware mining, and they take more advantage. And this is on the Ethereum, and they have a lot of advantage over everyone else. So as you can see, the majority of hash rate is concentrated within some specific pools, and this means that no matter what happens, they will always have better chances of mining blocks and obtaining rewards than anyone else. Because they can contain more money, they can therefore afford better and faster ASICs. This basically means no matter what happens, big mining pools will always have an edge over individuals and smaller pools. In other words, the rich will always get richer. Proof of stake makes this completely irrelevant by making mining completely virtual. However, that's not the only way proof of stake mitigates the effect of decentralization. In order to understand that, we need to know what economic of scale means. To know more about the economic of sales, and watch the video and everything, I'm gonna leave this link underneath the description below, and you guys could look at it for yourselves and check it out. It's gonna be, I'm not a developer, so it really doesn't concern me, but it's good, important that we all know, have a basic concept of what's happening in the space. In scaling, the most obvious way that proof of stake is going to help scalability is by enabling sharding. As Vlad Samfer said, sharding with proof of work is not impossible, but it's hard. What is sharding? Sharding is a term that has been taken from database systems. Let's see what sharding means with respect to the database. Suppose you have a huge bulky database for your website. Having a bulky database not only makes researching data slower, but it also hinders your scalability. So what do you do in this case? What if you do a horizontal partition on your data and turn them into smaller tables and store them on a different database server? See, that's what it looks like. So your database would be a little bit smaller. I mean, you would have the same user table, 1 and 2 here, 3 and 4 down here. So you divided this in half. So this is horizontal partition. That's what it said. Like so. Now, you might be asking, why horizontal partition and not vertical partition? This is because of the way of the tables are designed. Consider this. Suppose in this is our main table. This right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, A, B, A plus B, A minus B. Now, if we look at the partition in this table vertically, you see, it looks, if they divide this into 2, then this would be here and this would be down here. So yeah, it takes a lot more space, vertical. But horizontal, it doesn't. So you see what happens when you vertical partition a table? They tend to become two different tables altogether. However, if we were partition them horizontally, like this one, you see, it is the same table database, but with lesser data. These smaller databases are known as shards, and are of the large database. Each chart should be identical with the same table structure. So what will happen if we do implement sharding in the proof of work protocol? Sharding will make processing faster and by splitting a state into different charts. However, if we are using proof of work, the smaller charts will be in danger of being taken over malicious miners because it is a slow hash rate. In fact, this is the biggest reason why proof of work blockchains can never be implemented sharding, and any and all small charts can be easily overtaken over. This risk is completely mitigated in proof of stake, since it doesn't have that concept of mining. So this is freaking cool, guys. We're learning things here. I don't know about you guys, but I'm learning this and I'm sharing with you guys. It's wonderful to learn a little bit about the implementations they're planning to do on Ethereum, and it's sophisticated. It's cool. It feels good when you know what they're all about. All right, transition to proof of stake. Now, this is the most philosophical discussion. People generally are not that good with change. When they get used to something, it's very difficult for them to get out of that comfort zone. This can be particularly tricky for currency systems whose value is entirely based on its perceived value by the masses. As of writing, Ethereum is worth 32 billion. It would be incredibly irresponsible to drop the proof of stake bomb on the people and expect them to just get with the times. It might reduce the public's faith in the system, and the value of Ether may drop. Hence, it is much more prudent to have a gentle transition from proof of work to proof of stake that Casper FFG is planning to do. So do the rich get richer? One of the most recurring criticism of proof of stake protocol is that it is just making the rich people richer. Since in order to even qualify as an invalidator, You need to lock up a significant portion of your funds at stake, and even then, you will get rewarded in the proportion to the amount that you're betting. So if you have more money in the system, you will get more money. However, John Choi in this article refutes to this as so. The main takeaway here should be that proof of stake is considerably more egalitarian, giving less benefit to having more capital than the incumbent proof of work based algorithm of Bitcoin. The main reason behind this is the economic scale of discussion that we have had above. In a proof of stake, a dollar is still a dollar, and the big pools can't get away with having more hash rate for the same amount of money invested. The future of Ethereum Casper. Recently, as of Reddit, Vitalik Buterin said that is not only Casper ready for testing, but it can provide security boost when testing across clients when it doesn't look like it's ready for widespread adoption yet. It looks like the date of the first Casper testnet is coming closer and closer. It's not a question of if proof of stake is going to be implemented or not, it is a question of when. Ethereum Serenity is supposed to be a proof of stake network. It's not like we ever seen an implementation of proof of stake before. Peercoin implemented it quite successfully. However, we have seen the adoption of the protocol at this level before. Maybe if Casper implemented successfully, the other cryptocurrencies may follow the suit and make transition as well. Whatever be the case, Casper brings in a lot of interesting possibilities. Well, guys, according to this article, I mean, it looks like to me they're working on it, and to me, it sounds good and everything, and I hope for the best that Ethereum thrives overall. I want Ethereum to be successful and Bitcoin also. But what I'm seeing is that, I'm looking at Cardano right now, and it almost looks like this is like it's almost gonna be like Frankenstein, By the time they get done with Ethereum be like Frankenstein, It'd be like a human, computer, robot or whatever. Like instead of Cardano is like a freaking, like the latest freaking Iron Man suit with all the protocols already integrated and established from the very bottom up, and with massive for it just almost, it's funny to me. I'm sorry, guys, but hopefully you guys like this video, subscribe, hit that like, and I'm sorry that the article is kind of big. I know you guys bear with me. My English is not great. My reading is not that awesome either, but we're getting into the details. You see, right now there's a scaling problem going on, and we're getting into the detail. We get into the core detail of the problem on the cryptocurrency, especially when it comes to Ethereum scaling, guys. So hit that like, subscribe, and we'll see you soon. Take care.